Hi, my name is Gary Glass. I'm the director of the American Homebrewers Association. I'm teaching you how to make beer at home. In this segment, we will cover the basic ingredients that are used by homebrewers to make beer. Starting out, we have malt. Malt can be made from a variety of different grains, including wheat, rye, and oats, but it's primarily made from barley. And there's two main forms of malted barley that you can use. We've got our base grains, which are light, and those need to go through a mashing process. And then we have specialty grains that the maltsters have treated in different ways, either by roasting them at a different level or producing more sugars in the malt. Those different specialty grains are what create different colors within the beer. Malt in general provides sugars, which add sweetness to the beer, as well as body. So it adds to the mouthfeel of the beer. For homebrewers, we can skip the whole mashing process in which the starches and the grains are converted to sugars by using extracts. And I've got a couple of examples of extracts here. Extracts come in two different forms for homebrewers. You can either buy dried extracts or you can use a liquid extract, which comes as a syrup. Those extracts allow you to skip that whole mashing process, so it's very easy to do. Beer, of course, contains hops. Hops are a flower that are used as an herb in the brewing process. They provide bitterness, which balances the sweetness from the malt, as well as aromas and flavors that can range from herbal to floral to fruity to spicy. And for homebrewers, you can get hops in two different forms, either whole hops or you can use pelletized hops that look much like rabbit food. You also need yeast. Yeast is a single-celled organism that consumes sugars and produces alcohol and carbon dioxide. There are two main classes of yeast that are used in brewing. There's ale yeasts, which are fermented warm at room temperature, and those produce the fruity esters that are characteristic of ale styles. There's also lager yeast, which is fermented cold, down around 50 degrees Fahrenheit, and lager yeast produce a clean, crisp lager character. For homebrewers, there are two main packages for yeast. You can get yeast in either liquid form or dried form. The liquid form comes in either a foil package or a vial. With the liquid yeast, you can brew all kinds of different styles. It's a little more expensive than the dried yeast. Dried yeast doesn't have as many varieties as the liquid yeast does, and it also has to go through a rehydration process. Of course, with beer, the main ingredient is going to be water. You can use any kind of water as long as it's clean tasting. So if your tap water tastes good to you, you can use that. Though if the water has a lot of chlorination in it, then you probably want to use a filtered or bottled water for your brewing. Well, that covers the basic ingredients. Next, we'll talk about the equipment that you will need to brew beer.